The year is 2026. What started as angry words between Washington and Caracas has spiraled into something nobody imagined. Venezuela's neighbors, Colombia, Brazil, and Guyana, are dragged into a conflict that's tearing South America apart. It begins with a single spark. Venezuela accuses Colombia of harboring dissidents. Colombia denies it. Then comes the border skirmish, gunfire in the jungle, soldiers dead on both sides. Within 48 hours, Venezuela closes its borders and mobilizes tanks toward Colombian territory. America had promised to protect Colombia. Now those words become action. U.S. warships appear off Venezuela's coast. Fighter jets scream across Caribbean skies. The message is clear: back down or face consequences. But Venezuela isn't alone anymore. Old alliances activate like dominoes falling. Russian advisors appear in Caracas. Chinese naval vessels dock in Venezuelan ports. What was regional is now global. The fighting erupts everywhere at once. Colombian cities near the border become war zones. Explosions light up the night. Families flee with whatever they can carry. Children clutching teddy bears, old men pushing carts loaded with memories. The roads become rivers of refugees, millions streaming toward Brazil, toward anywhere that isn't here. Brazil tries to stay neutral, but neutrality is a luxury war doesn't allow. Venezuelan forces cross into Brazilian territory, claiming they're chasing Colombian insurgents. Brazilian troops fire back. Now the Amazon itself becomes a battlefield, its ancient trees witnessing humanity's newest madness. Guyana, tiny and oil-rich, faces Venezuela's old territorial claims suddenly backed by military force. Its capital, Georgetown, prepares for invasion. American special forces arrive to help, turning Guyana into a proxy battlefield between superpowers. The Caribbean becomes a naval chessboard. American carriers face off against Russian submarines. One mistake, one misread radar signal, and this regional war could become something infinitely worse. Nuclear powers staring at each other across warm tropical waters. Meanwhile, ordinary people suffer most. Hospitals overflow with wounded. Food shipments stop. Inflation explodes as trade routes collapse. In Bogotá, families huddle in subway stations during air raid sirens. In Caracas, blackouts last for days. In Manaus, doctors perform surgery by flashlight. The international community screams for peace. The UN holds emergency sessions, but words feel hollow when missiles are flying. Economic sanctions pile up, punishing populations already struggling. The war's appetite is endless. It devours money, resources, lives, futures. Months pass. The initial shock gives way to grinding horror. This isn't the quick conflict anyone predicted. It's become a meat grinder, turning a whole region into a landscape of loss. Young soldiers from Iowa and Ohio fight in jungles they can't pronounce. Russian mercenaries bleed in South American heat. Chinese advisors coordinate strikes from underground bunkers. The environmental cost is catastrophic. Oil facilities burn, spewing black smoke visible from space. The Amazon rainforest, the lungs of the planet, becomes scarred with bomb craters and tank tracks. Rivers run with fuel and chemicals. Wildlife flees or dies. Finally, exhaustion forces what reason couldn't. Every side is bleeding resources and lives. Back-channel negotiations begin in neutral Switzerland. The diplomats look haunted. They've seen the casualty reports, the economic devastation, the displacement of over 15 million people. A ceasefire is announced. Not peace. Nobody wins enough to call it peace. Just an end to the shooting. The silence feels strange after months of explosions. Soldiers on all sides simply stop, too tired to feel relief. The aftermath is sobering. Cities need rebuilding. Economies need decades to recover. Families search through rubble and refugee camps for missing loved ones. The political map looks different now. Borders shifted, governments fallen, alliances shattered. Children who lived through it will carry the trauma forever. A generation scarred by a war that accomplished nothing except proving that in the 21st century, regional conflicts don't stay regional, and nobody, absolutely nobody, wins when superpowers play chess with other people's lives. The question everyone asks in the end, how did we let this happen? The answer is always the same: slowly, then all at once, because we thought the unthinkable would never actually happen, until it did.